Guys, we might be in the middle of the largest bank collapse in our history.
Bank stocks are really under pressure here. Some industry watchers say there are real risks ahead.
The reason I say that is because Silicon Valley Bank collapsed on March 10th, 2023, and then Signature Valley Bank collapsed on March 12th, and then First Republic on May 1st, then Heartland Tri-State on July 28th. New York Community Banks is on the list next. Now, I know you're probably thinking these are some small banks that would really never affect our general population, but guys, some of the largest banks in the world can be on this list tomorrow. And the reason I say this is because Chase, Wells Fargo, and some of the other largest banks in the world is having insolvency issues. Now, the Fed and Janet Yellen over at the Treasury Department has some issues to address coming up in the following month of March. March is going to be a very, very important month for our economy going forward. In today's video, I'm going to explain this step by step on how these banks can fall like dominoes. Guys, stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new to the channel, I create Coach Q, and I create the first cloud-based software that allows you to put your credit repair experience to your own hands. If you're new to the channel, I'm super excited because I have a banger. Today's video, we're going to talk about the insolvency of some of the largest banks in the world. But before we get into the video, guys, please like, subscribe to the channel. It allows YouTube to push this content to the wider audience. It also allows YouTube to push this within their algorithm a little more, and allows us to leave the lights on. Guys, please like, subscribe to the channel. If you have anything derogatory in your credit report, I mean anything negative, charge-offs, late payments, bankruptcies, medical bills, guys, you name it, please go over to mycreditapproved.com. It's the website and the software that I was telling you about that allows you to put the full experience to your own hands. Guys, people are removing thousands of dollars worth of debt by themselves. They are no longer using credit repair companies. They are putting this information and this experience into their own hands and appreciating on a deeper level. Guys, please go to mycreditapproved.com, check out the software, and start removing these items, guys, if you have anything derogatory on your credit report. Now, let's dive straight into the meat and potatoes of this video. Guys, this video can be very, very transformative. Call me a prophet, call me whatever, but I honestly feel like I'm going to see and predict the future of our economy going forward. Now, the reason I say this is because Janet Yellen over at the Treasury Department and Jerome Powell with the Fed have their hands full when it comes to the United States economy. So when it comes to Janet Yellen with the Treasury Department, every country is dropping U.S. treasuries like a bad habit. And the reason is, I don't know, maybe the U.S. dollar has been a target for majority of the countries in the world these last couple of years, and they are dumping the U.S. treasury bonds like a bad habit. Actually, one of our largest holders in treasury bonds, which is China, has removed 15% of their treasury bonds in the last month or so, and they are on a pace to remove most, if not all, of their treasury bonds by the end of the fiscal year of 2024, guys. So how do all of the countries dropping treasury bonds affects the United States economy? Well, if you don't know, now you do, because it can cause a catastrophic ripple in our economy where we might possibly not be able to come back from. Now, we talked about Janet Yellen. Let's talk about Jerome Powell with the Fed. Jerome is definitely having his hands full also because the banks is falling like dominoes. Now, I already listed the group of banks that has been bankrupt and went to non-existence, but I want to talk about the larger banks as well, because people don't really understand that the larger banks can fall as well. So let's go to JP Morgan. So there was some issues on Twitter a couple months ago talking about JP Morgan filing for bankruptcy. They were supposed to file for bankruptcy at the end of the 29th, and they didn't. So now we have to see exactly how that road is going to cross. People on Twitter is having a field day, and it's honestly hilarious.
They seem to have our collective a little distracted once again with this shit going on in Miami. While this was taking place, there was something major going on in the background. JP Morgan literally just declared that they'll be filing for bankruptcy January the 23rd, which is in 2 weeks' time. May I repeat, the biggest banker in the world, JP Morgan, has literally just declared that they'll be filing for bankruptcy on January the 23rd. So while everyone was distracted by this teenage fight that 80 cop cars need,
Look at this tweet. JP Morgan Chase and the Bank of America trouble with the bankruptcy near. When this happens, the dominoes will fall and the collapse is a few months away because the U.S. government cannot bail out any banks. March 24 is the deadline, guys. As you can see in the screenshot, it says the complaint sets forth a cause of action that Chase is using the inaccuracy of its credit reporting in a systematic basis to further its business of selling debts in its buyers' collections of such debt because it makes money off of it. So guys, March is going to be huge because the Bank Term Fund program ends on, I believe, March 11th. So that is going to be big as well. I honestly don't know where Jerome is going to go in the next direction. A lot of people are under the speculation that Jerome is going to lower the rates. Now, if he lowered the rates, that would do great for the economy, but the last thing he needs to do is raise the rates. But being in the current position that he's been in with China, it's looking like he is not going to be able to do anything but raise the rates because of what China and how they are overstimulating their economy over there. Now, if they do raise the rates, a lot of these commercial real estate loans are going to default, and is going to cause a collapse for the commercial ownership space. I honestly don't know how we're going to come back from a situation like that or a default on that scale. Now, who hold the bag when it comes to these defaults? The regional banks that hold the loans. And just like we've seen with Signature Bank and Silicon Valley Bank, the insolvency is there. And if Jerome Powell, rest assured, if he raises rates again, these commercial real estate loans are going to go in the biggest default in American history. And I don't know how we're going to come back from it. Guys, leave me in the comment section, let me know. Now, I did also come across a very interesting video on social media of a loan officer or a banker that was basically talking about the collapse of Wells Fargo. Watch it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's America's Credit and Finance Drill Sergeant coming to you live and direct. I just pulled over for a second because I've been dropping you some science on these banks, right? I mentioned some information to you about Capital One being on the ropes, and you might want to be careful about how you maneuver as it concerns them. You know, several months ago, late last year, we had Signature Bank and Silicon Valley Bank that went under out in California, two of the biggest banks that handle cryptocurrency. Today, I'm coming to you to drop some real vital information to you about Wells Fargo Bank. Now, Wells Fargo Bank has never been high on my list because they give poor customer service. They got the highest interest rates. They have the lowest returns on their investment accounts as well as their passbook savings and their checking accounts. However, they were also recently fined. Well, I guess about a year ago, they were fined for over $2.2 billion by the Consumer Financial Protection Board and the Attorney General of the United States for opening fraudulent accounts, for repossessing servicemen's vehicle while they were on TAD, wrongfully foreclosing on people who weren't even behind on their mortgages. It was a laundry list of things that they did wrong. A laundry list. They got fined, they got spanked for over $2.1 billion. And now I found out this morning in the middle of a closing that I'm in that Wells Fargo Bank is in bankruptcy. A technical procedure that they do to hedge the remaining amounts of their capital when they get fined for over $1 billion. Now, they've been fined for several hundreds of thousands of dollars over the last 12 years consecutively for fraudulent activity. Well, that $2.2 billion, I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back. So while Wells Fargo is maintaining a public image that they're still, 100%, they're operating at about 25% now, folks.
So guys, as you can see, it is a lot of rumors and speculation behind the scenes that these banks are about to fall like dominoes. And if you don't have your ducks in a row, guys, I don't know what to tell you. The 1% is going to get richer and the poor is going to get poor. They are getting rid of the middle class. They are doing it at a pace that I wasn't ever expected. I knew that they was going to eventually try to get rid of the middle class, but the way they're doing it now is just raising all alarms. So seriously. So guys, what to do in situations like this? Understand where the money is going. Always follow the money, right? So the money is going in a digital space. All of the money is already set to actually be transferred over to tokenization. And once that happens, it's going to be set a precedence for a lot of new millionaires, even new billionaires, and even some trillionaires is going to be born throughout this wealth transfer. So guys, look in the framework on how these digital systems is working. Look at a company like Ripple, Circle. Look at some of the companies that's actually building the framework sustainably for these government and big institutions to actually run the systems that they need to run on. Guys, the wealth transfer is in full effect, and this is going to be one of the biggest there is. A lot of people is going to become broke and a lot of people is going to be rich. Put your yourself in a position that you are going to benefit from the wealth transfer when it happens. Guys, if you on my channel, definitely listen to what I'm saying when it comes to these frameworks and these systems, because I would hate for the dominoes to fall and everyone is left with the bag in their hand and they don't have anything, they don't know what to do going forward as far as getting resource or anything like that. Guys, I don't want my audience to be dependent or solely dependent on the government, because that's what's going to happen. UBI is on its way, which is universal basic income, which is basically a universal basic income for every consumer on the planet, that the government is basically going to have full control over your day-to-days, the way you spend everything. So guys, look into the frameworks of these digital products and how they are basically setting up the stage for this money to be transferred over. You don't have a lot of time to do that as well. So guys, March is going to be very interesting for the United States economy or the global economy, and I'm looking forward to it. Guys, let me know in the comment section how you feel about these dates or the systems that we're in. Guys, let me know in the comment section any opinion or facts that you may have about the topic. Until next time, guys, take care of yourself and take care of your credit. Credit Coach Q out.